Hey, good morning guys. My name is Alec. Today I'm going to be showing you and making a video on how to fluid film a vehicle and why you should be doing it if you live in an area that puts salt or brine on the roads. It's very destructive to these new vehicles. They're very intricate. They got a lot of parts in them, and it's a good idea to protect your liability and get it fluid filmed. So today I'm going to show you how to fluid film a brand new vehicle. I'm going to show you also two vehicles that have had fluid film on them for every winter that they've been driven in and what the results are of those time periods. So we have a brand new 2023 Chevy Colorado that has never been fluid filmed, and it's going to get filmed today. And then I'm going to show you also, right here's my white 2019 F-150. This will be its fifth winter, so it's completed 4 going on 5, and I'm going to show you what this thing looks like. It looks brand new, just to, let you know that this video is worth watching. So the third vehicle, hopefully we get to it today, is a 2021 Ford Edge, and that is going to be going on this should be its third winter. So I fluid film these vehicles every year. I do them at different intricacies depending on what year it is and how it's looking and how it's holding up. But this is something that's very important for people that live in the Midwest or somewhere that sprays salt or is exposed to salt. These vehicles are really expensive. You're spending upwards of $30 to $40 to $50 to $70,000 on a new vehicle. It's a really good idea to take some time and take care of your liability that you purchase. So I'm gonna talk you through. This is my first year getting to do fluid film on a 2-post lift. I just made the investment for myself to be able to do this and work on other things. But 4 years previous to this, I've been fluid filming my F-150 on jack stands in the driveway. So I'm going to get into this video. I'm going to show you kind of what you have for tools, how you start on a brand new vehicle, and then later in the video I'll show you this thing. And let me just tell you, it's worth doing. It takes maybe 3-4 hours per vehicle when they're brand new, and maybe 2 hours once they're getting a refresh. So we'll get right into it. Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it helps, and I hope that you fluid film your vehicle if you need to. Alrighty, so the first thing, most important thing that you need, a good air compressor. Not gonna tell you what specs or what size or anything like that, but something with a sizable tank that you can spray with for quite a while. I've never tried to use something like a pancake air compressor, but if that's all you got, I'm sure you'll make it work. So a good air compressor. Second thing, gun choice. Now, I've been fluid filming my vehicles with a generic Amazon undercoating gun for about the last 4 years since I've been doing it. Now, this year, do have the privilege of using a actual fluid film branded undercoating gun. So fluid film does make their own undercoating gun. Comes with this red tank, comes with the nozzle, comes with these straws that you put on the end of the nozzle to get up into frame rails and stuff, and they have holes in the end of them so that it kind of fans out and gets some good coverage in where you're sticking it up into. So I recommend either one. I've had great success with the undercoating one, but if you're a person that's very thorough and wants to get in every small nook and cranny, something with that tip on the end of it and the straws is a really good idea to have. They do make undercoating guns like this that have the straws on the end of them. And the one thing I'll tell you, there's one downside to these types of fluid film branded guns. The one downside is that they are a pain in the rear to fill up with product. This thing has a nice big wide mouth on it. You can take a pretty big spoon from your wife's kitchen and just spoon it in there. These ones, you're using a funnel, you're trying to tap it in there. I'll guarantee you, if we measure it on a stopwatch and had a little competition, these things probably take 4 or 5 times as long to fill up as that thing does. So this is what we're going to be using today. We got 5 gallons of fluid film because we're doing 3 vehicles and one of them is brand new. So those usually take 2 gallons, and the retouches generally take about half a gallon to 1 gallon depending on the size. So we're going to get to fluid filming here, put you up on the time lapse, and check in with you in a little bit. Alrighty guys, so we're checking in with you inside. We're getting to the point, like I said, we're doing a 2023 Chevy Colorado. This is fairly new, never seen a winter before. You can see the frame looks brand new as it should. The first step in this, when I'm doing a fluid film, is we get all the wheels and tires off and we get the wheel well liners out if it's never had fluid film on it before. So you can see we got the pile of wheels and tires, mud flaps, wheel well liners. Get that stuff out, because if you don't do that, you're not going to get very good coverage on the inner parts of the fender. So you can see there's lots of small intricacies in this and areas for rust to build up and accumulate, especially like back in here where the bed mounts to the frame. So you can get in your bed rails this way. And also, if we come up here on the front, it's important to do this because of how many spots there are for salt water to get up into and start rotting this truck out. So this is, to be totally honest, one of the more intricate, newer vehicles that I've ever fluid filmed, with how many small nooks and crannies there are. This is gonna rot out really bad on these trucks eventually. This is gonna rot out really bad on these, and there's all kinds of small spots in here. So first step, get it up on jack stands, get it up on cribbing or whatever you're gonna use. Get the wheels and tires off, get the wheel well liners out, and the next thing we're gonna do next, we're gonna cover the brakes, because that's really important so that you don't ruin your brakes on your brand new vehicle. Alrighty, checking back in with you. This thing's just about getting ready to get sprayed. One of the big things on a vehicle that's never been fluid filmed or sprayed before, drop the spare tire, because there's a lot of surface area and a lot of intricacy behind that spare tire. And the spare tire does block a lot of garbage, so you don't have to do this every year if you don't want to. But it's a good idea to get that spare tire down. We got the brakes covered up, and the other thing that we noticed about these new GM vehicles that's kind of nice is they have holes in the rocker panels. So we pulled out 4 plugs on the outer rocker, and then there is one, but there's 4 holes on the inner rocker that we pulled plugs out so that we can spray into them. So 16 total, 8 on each side.
I don't think that I can do this. I don't think that I can do this. When these waves come crashing down, yeah, my feet won't reach the ground. Yeah, the waves come crashing down. When these waves come crashing down, and my feet won't reach the ground. Yeah, these waves come crashing down. When these waves come crashing.
I look for answers, I ain't finding loads. With me and you know I gave it all my life and soul. We drifted off and still it's left me with these giant holes. Nothing to fill the gap and all I feel is highs and lows. I pour a drink and sit and wonder why we rivaled loads. See, I was man enough to leave, you gave the final blows. There's many fish out in the sea, I guess what I suppose. I think it's time I let it go.
Waves come crashing down. Yeah, my feet won't reach the ground. Yeah, the waves come crashing down. When these waves come crashing down, and my feet won't reach the ground. Yeah, these waves come crashing down.
Alrighty, so we got the Colorado just about done here. We went through probably about 1.5 gallons total. We're estimating because we started getting into the 5 gallons. We had 2 that were about half a gallon full or so, maybe a little bit more. And then we started to get into that. So this is what a well-coated truck looks like here. We got the wheel wells good. It's a little thick in some spots, but this is a nice, what I would consider a thick coat, but it's thin enough that you're not overdoing it. Got in all the leaf springs, and we got the whole underside looking good here. So that's all looking good. Now, just to show you what it looks like, we were using a gun that we weren't super familiar with, and I'll show you what kind of overcoating looks like. So you can see Some of these spots are a little overcoated, but it's 30 bucks a gallon, and you're not going to kill anything by putting a little bit too much on. So this is probably a little overcoated, and then if you want to see really overcoated, you can start to get the butter knife out and start putting this stuff on toast. So this is okay though. I mean, you're not going to hurt anything by doing this, but you could definitely do it a little thinner. So we're going to put this thing back together and get the second one on. I'll show you guys what 4 winters looks like on my F-150. Alrighty guys, checking back in with you. We got my F-150 on the lift. So like I said, it has gone through 4 complete winters. This will be its 5th. And this is what the underside of it looks like. Now we're in Wisconsin. It's pretty hard on these things. They put salt and brine and all that stuff out as much as they can, it seems like. You get a little dusting and they got salt and brine out. So this is the underside of it. It's in really good shape for 4 years. And the thing about that, and the best way to keep this in good shape, is to not wash the underside of the vehicle. So it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but do not take it to a car wash that has an underbody wash and use the underbody wash. You can see it doesn't look pretty in regards to clean and able to eat off of it, but in regards to someone that doesn't want their vehicle to rust out, it looks freaking beautiful. So you can see all up in here, there's a nice thick layer of dirt and fluid film. And if you don't like this, you can power wash it off every spring. I leave it because it's a nice thick layer, and I'm pretty much gonna spend 30 minutes or so touching this up and calling it good. So you can see the axle's all nice and coated. And let's look at the inside underneath. Go to the 0.5. You can see this stuff starts to get really thick. So I'm actually pretty impressed with how it's holding up. Some of the other areas we do full transfer case, transmission, all that stuff to help prevent corrosion on the outer cases. You can see I got a little bit of rust on that, on those brackets up there, but I'm not necessarily super worried about that stuff. Those are replaceable. Frames are a little bit harder to do. So this is what we're working with. On this one, we pretty much only got to pull off the old diaper on the bottom here, and that's about it. But you can see even super high traffic areas. So here's the front wheel well, and even back here is all in pretty dang good shape too. So up in the front, lower control arms get a lot of mud and nastiness, and you can see I'm just starting to get just a little bit on the front of that knuckle there. So in really good shape for 5 years. This truck has 26,000 miles on it, or not 5 years, 4 years. So about 7,500 miles a year or so. And of course, about half of that is in salt season. So we're going to get this one fluid filmed, and hopefully these results speak for themselves. Alrighty, coming and checking back in. We got the F-150 done. It was pretty much just a general touch up everywhere and getting inside the frame rails. Here's the 2021 Edge. This will be its 3rd winter, so it's completed 2 so far. I got my nice lighting assistant here. Grab the light. It looks pretty good. Nothing apparently rusty. I can't do much about the exhaust, unfortunately. I could probably try and take it down and paint it, but F that. So everything looks pretty good. We got a nice base layer on everything. This is going to be a recoat. Now, this car does, for some reason, take a little longer in my F-150 because there's so many tight spots and components to get. But you can see, even back here, this is really high traffic, lots of water coming back, hitting the control arms. You can see we're getting just a little bit of rust on some of the trailing arms. It kind of is what it is. They get beat up so bad that not much you can do about it. So there's drive shaft's a little ugly. That's is what it is, but everything else looks really good. Now, this car does have these shields underneath it that we took off already, and that kind of protects all this stuff, holds in moisture and salt. So take those off and get behind those. But you can see here's where a cover has not been, pretty dirty looking. here's where cover has been. So it's pretty clean. You can see there's 2 years of fluid film right there. But it looks pretty good. So we're gonna get freaking skedaddling, stop talking, stop chit-chatting, and get some work done. And see you in a bit. Alrighty guys, so closing this video out, I hope you found it helpful. Hopefully you learned something new or are interested in doing fluid film, and now you're gonna go do it and protect your vehicles. So if you got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Hopefully I covered everything. In closing, I just think that it's a great thing that you can do to protect the money that you spend on them. And if you're anything like me, you don't just buy a vehicle, turn around and sell it in a year. So it's good to keep them around. So if you're the one working on them, you're really gonna thank yourself. And even if you're not, your mechanic probably will love it. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.